Hi there, it's Tracy Daviero from Your VA Mentor. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Today we are going to talk about losing time. Do you ever look up at the end of your day and just wonder where all your time went? Super common, especially when you work by yourself. Nobody's in charge of you. If you're lucky enough to work in an empty house during the day, then you don't even have many distractions. There's lots of self-imposed distractions like social media, but I'm talking about, people walking into your office, say they would at a corporate job, lots of activity around you and that type of thing. But losing time is super common for virtual assistants and really anybody who works, on their own from their home. But I'm not even talking about just client work, okay? You lose track of your entire day. And as anybody knows, you can't exclusively do client work all day long. Things are going to creep in. There's going to be some business admin or some networking, and even if it's just a few minutes a day, they're going to be your meal times, your break times, maybe your personal few minutes that you take if you answer a personal phone call or something like that. It's about all of your time and where is it going? Because if you have a problem in one area, and say that's, in your client work area, it usually spills over into all areas of your life, right? It's just kind of in your personality. If you don't have something that keeps you on track, time-wise, during your day, during your week, and that type of thing, it likely is going, it's likely disappearing on you in other places as well. So lots of VAs I know look for tips on this all the time. And one of the tips that I give, and you'll see it in these videos and you'll see it in a lot of my blog posts and anywhere that I teach, is talking about blocking your time. And a lot of VAs I know don't do that. They start a task and then they try to finish it, when it's done, kind of thing. And sometimes that's essential. Sometimes that's really important to do. And I understand that. But when you never set an end time to things, it's really difficult to, first of all, manage your time. Secondly, it's really difficult to feel a sense of completion or success. And I'm reading a book now called When by Daniel H. Pink. And it's in the other room, but it's interesting. It shows you patterns and good times of day to do things and bad times of day. But one of the things it does talk about, and I talk about this a lot, so it's really neat to see it in the book, is about celebrating those successes. So if you have a really large project that, say, is going to take you 12 hours, not unheard of in a lot of VA type jobs and that kind of thing, or 5 hours or 1 hour, whatever it's going to be, you want to be able to break those time chunks into break that time, the maximum time, down into time chunks so that you can feel the progress that you're making. If you have something that's 12 hours long, you don't want to say, okay, I'm going to start at 8 o'clock tonight and I'm just going to work through until I'm tired. And you get 3.5 hours in. It's absolute, and then you're exhausted and you maybe have plans the next 2 nights and you don't get anything done, or however it works. But when you don't set an end time, it's like this, you're running uphill, right? So you're looking at this task, this mammoth task of 12 hours, and you go for, tonight I went for 2 hours and 5 minutes, like I'm just exhausted. But if you say, I'm gonna work for 90 minutes on this tonight, you can see what I can get done in 90 minutes. And this is how I break up my time. So this is why I teach it this way. So what can I get done in 90 minutes? Oh, well, I can get this and this and this, and this is my bucket of time, which I talk about all the time. And so I can get this and this and this. These are the things I should be able to get done in that 90 minutes tonight or today or tomorrow, whatever it is. And so I put that into my book. I sit down to do the work. I work for the 90 minutes. I complete. I close my book. I'm happy and I'm making progress, right? It's not about, okay, really have to get this done, really have to get this done again. It's really important to be able to manage the time that you have. And that's one way that I find really, really helpful, because it helps you celebrate those successes. It helps you make progress and show yourself the progress that you're making because you're being really determined about what is going into that box of time. And then if you don't get something done in that box of time, you simply take that one task and you move it to the next box, maybe the next night or the next week, however you work on things. So I think it's really important because I've done this a lot. I putter. I try to, there was one night recently where my husband was watching a movie on TV and I thought, I'll get some stuff done. I'll sit down on the couch with my laptop and I'll do some writing or something. Well, of course I was distracted by what he was doing and we were having conversation at the same time. And I ended up wasting an entire evening. Whereas if I had just sat down and said, okay, for 45 minutes, I'm going to write a newsletter article and then I'm going to be done with it. I could have done that. I would have felt, I would have gotten that task off my desk, and then I could have gone and enjoyed my evening. And so I'm not always talking about combining client stuff and business work and business time and personal time, but in this case, it's a really good example. I wasted the entire evening, and I still didn't have the article written by the end of the night. I got down into some rabbit holes on social media, and I basically just kind of puttered away the whole evening on my laptop, and I didn't get anything done. And this is what happens during the day whenever we don't set certain times for when to get our work done. So if you're wasting your time, see if you can try the bucket method and put together some really just make some decisions on how long you want to spend on something. Don't make it really, really long, because it's not sustainable. An hour or less. I often say 15 to 30 minutes is even a really good way to keep yourself really fresh and on task. Take that 1 hour, put all the things in there that you want to do, you want to get done, that you think you can get done in that hour. And I bet you'll find a whole lot, and it's a routine you have to develop, but I bet you'll find it's a whole lot more effective. And then you can continue to use that in your business. So anyway, I hope that's a helpful tip for you today, managing your time so you don't waste it. A little tip on that. I hope to see you next time. Thanks so much for being here.